বাংলার কারিগর বাংলার স্থপতি।
West Bengal has changed governments many times before, yet many of the challenges remain all through these years. That raises the question whether government alone can change the system, or for any successful resurgence is the common citizen who have to reform themselves first. History has some moments to offer. Japan has done it after World War II, Germany has done it, Singapore has done it, so can Bengal also do it? Every great national resurgence in modern history, from Japan to Germany, from Singapore to South Korea, was ultimately beat, not by governments alone, but by disciplined, responsible and determined citizens. Don't you think that West Bengal today stands at a crossroad? In spite of being rich in talent, history and opportunity, yet West Bengal is continuously confronted with migration, opportunity loss, civic discipline and economic competitiveness. So the real question before Bengal is not who governs Bengal, but the real question is, can citizens rebuild Bengal again? We shall discuss all these things in this episode. Citizens' responsibility. Can the common citizen build a resurgent Bengal? History has already proven the resilience of Bengali people against major shocks. For example, partition and refugee rehabilitation from 1947 until around 1965, the 1971 Bangladesh refugee crisis, natural disaster like cyclone Amphan, Aila, etc. The question is whether the same resilience can now be transformed into responsibility and collective purpose. We must accept the fact that government may change the direction of the policy, but citizen only can change the direction of the society. If we are serious about building a resurgent Bengal, the journey begins not with others but with ourselves. Repeat, but with ourselves. Let's explore 5 core duties of responsible citizen. Number 1 core duty: cultural restoration and unity. History tells us where we came from, but the culture tells us whether we remember those who we are. Bengal was once intellectual center, reform movement center, scientific and artistic hub, industrial powerhouse. Luminaries like Bankim Chandra, Vivekananda, Rabindranath, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Dr. Shama Prasad were proud sons of this land. Cultural pride is not hatred toward others. It is rooted in self-respect, continuity and rootedness, who we are. A society that loses cultural confidence ultimately loses civil confidence. Today, many people know Instagram probably better than Bengal's history. Instead, or take the case on the other side, take the case of Japan. Japan modernized its society without abandoning their culture. They inculcate technology in hand but traditions in heart. Coming to the next core duties: economic self-reliance. A society that only consumes become dependent, but a society which produce become self-confident. Economic self-reliance is not isolationism, is not self-protection. Instead, economic self-confidence is innovation, production, employment and confidence rather than depending on others. But how do we practice? How do you practice to become self-reliance? Let's discuss. Number 1, restore respect for the enterprise. Move from dependency to the productivity, create employment and local industry, strengthen the local ecosystem, preserve the cultural economy. This is very important, preserve the cultural economy. Bengal has a very rich culture in the local enterprises, for example, Shanti Niketan, leather, handicrafts. So, this culture itself can become an economy. Then build innovation plus modernization in the areas of modern technologies like AI, startup, digital ecosystem, logistic, digital economy, renewable energy, etc. So, therefore, we must be proud that a strong Bengal makes the Northeast, the India and the extended Bay of Bengal economy much stronger. Coming to third core responsibility, that is the sentinel responsibility. West Bengal is not just another state. West Bengal is the gateway of complete Northeast India. We must remember that. So, when West Bengal stays firm, strong, whole of Northeast India remains firm. When West Bengal stays vigilant, the entire Northeast India stays secure and vigilant. As I have mentioned that West Bengal is the gateway to Northeast India. So, why Bengal matters strategically? First, the security of Chicken Neck, that is Siliguri corridor, because the complete logistics to the and the connectivity to the Northeast is dependent on the Siliguri corridor. Second, border, a long West Bengal shares long border with Bangladesh, where the various cross-border misinformation takes place. Then social fragility, we must be prone that rumors can quickly inflame reactions among the population. Civic ethics, public discipline and responsible behavior directly influence the internal security. So, we have just discussed the strategically importance of West Bengal. So, therefore, the citizen duty. So, what should be the citizen duty as the sentinel of the East? Every resident of Bengal carries a responsibility much larger than the West Bengal state itself, that we must be feeling very proud of. And then what we should do, what should be the duties of us as the sentinel of the East? Citizens must remain vigilant and be responsible and reject misinformation, stay alert for against antisocial networks, civic integrity. We must remember that the corruption survives not only because of corrupt politicians. Corruption survives when the society normalizes corruption. We criticize sometimes, just let us ponder over that sometimes we criticize government for the bad roads, while on the other side we throw the garbage onto the road ourselves. Singapore became clean not because of government rules and regulations alone. Singapore became clean because the cleanliness has been accepted as one of the society's core duties. Coming to the fourth core duties, intelligence renaissance. This is very, very important. Bengal once shaped the intellectual direction of complete India, like since Bengal Renaissance days, in the areas of science and philosophy, literature, reform movements, etc. But unfortunately, there is a persistent decline in critical thinking, reading culture, evidence-based discussion. Instead, what we are witnessing, we are witnessing WhatsApp-based management, emotional propaganda, outrage politics, blind hero worship. Don't we know that an emotional society can be manipulated, but an informed society cannot? We must maintain a very, very good balance among STEM and humanities, that is science, technology, engineering, mathematics with the humanities, because technology without humanities or without ethics become actually dangerous. But culture without the scientific thinking becomes stagnant. So we must ponder over, we must accept that government can administer states, but Afghan citizens build the civilization, build the society. Coming to the fifth most important core duties, that is social cohesion and unity. Unity does not mean uniformity. Politically, we can have a different opinion, but yet at the end of it, we can all be united. No civilization rise when they inculcate hatred, get into polarization, identity conflicts, political tribalism, that is, citizens support a particular group or a political party over their independent thinking. So, how citizens inculcate the social harmony and unity? That we must reduce hatred, we must encourage the neighborhood brotherhoodness, we must preserve our culture, we must prioritize Bengal's collective future. If we allow the politics to enter into every relationship, then ultimately the society itself will collapse. Just think of it that post World War II, the Germany and Japan rose because they prioritized countries' growth, development over their internal division among the population. Contemplate citizens' action. Can a balance be maintained between welfare and the development for a sustainable growth of West Bengal? Because if West Bengal must rise, then its people must rise first. So friends, we have seen that no governments alone can change the society. No party, no institution, no leader can alone change the society and equate themselves with the power of the Afghan citizens. History changes when ordinary citizens decide to change with extraordinary civic consciousness. Let's reiterate the 5 core duties that we have discussed: preserve culture, develop local economy, protect the society, revive the intellect and stay united. When citizen awakens, Bengal awakens, and when Bengal awakens, the whole of India awakens. Jai Hind, Bande Mataram.
বাংলার কারিগর বাংলার স্থপতি।